It's Dimps. It's time for another dive into my childhood games. So put on your bling bling and let's pwn some rails, get crunk on the half pipe, because it's time to see if Tony Hawk Pro Skater Underground is lay awesome sauce or an epic fail. And that's enough 2000s lingo. What an exhausting and embarrassing way to speak. Tony Hawk Pro Skater Underground, the 5th game in the series, but first in my childhood heart. Aww. The gameplay of the first 3 games was simple and great. You would be given some objectives for each level and a short time limit to complete them. 4 changed the formula by making every level open to free skate, and you would interact with NPCs to complete whatever task they had. Underground took this route, but added the first ever actual storyline to the series. More on that shortly. First, we need to make our skater. Although this feature existed in previous games, this is the first time where you are required to play as your created character. There are a lot of fun, wacky options, but usually on my first playthrough, I tend to try to create someone who looks like me. I've been told my jaw doesn't have much Y, but lots of X. We start in our hometown in New Jersey. Our friend Eric got his board stolen by some drug addicts, and we have to collect his parts. And we do that by getting off our skateboard? It may seem like nothing, but this was game-changing for fans. You couldn't just get off your skateboard in Tony Hawk, and here they lead with it as the first mission. You can get off the board, jump, climb, use it in combos. Oh, this ain't your older brother's Tony Hawk. And what's this? Stat increase? In previous games, you would increase stats by finding cash and buying upgrades. Here, you get instant stat increases by completing stat challenges, ollie certain amount of feet, or do X amount of flip tricks and combos. This is an awesome idea. Basically, by playing the game, your character gets better as you get better. The general gameplay is to complete a certain amount of missions in each level to move on. What's nice is you don't need to complete them all if you find one is too tough. The missions tend to be things like collect items in a time limit, do tricks in a specific location, beat a high score, or driving a car? Another first for the series that blew my mind as a kid. This gang member wants you to beat his time in a race, and if you don't, he will stab you in the stomach. As a kid, I thought that Jersey was nothing but drug addicts and people who will stab you. As an adult, though, I realized they were absolutely right. Chad Muska, a pro skater, comes to town to do a demo, which, according to the cutscene, is one trick. He shows off his pimped out ride because this is still the 2000s, but now we have our goal. Eric and I want to become pros. First, we have to get a local sponsorship. We impress some people on the team, but those pesky drug dealers stole stuff from the skate shop. This mission seemed so scary to me when I was young. The drug dealers with skull icons, the dark setting, the NPC yelling,
"Wait, kid, it's too dangerous!"
All of this combined probably did more to scare me from drugs than Dare ever did. I used to think this was so hard, too. I failed it consistently that I have
"Wait, kid, it's too dangerous!"
burned into my memories from replaying this over and over again. It's not hard. At all. Run on the rooftops. Done. Once you get the supplies back, you see your buddy Eric here, who sets their car on fire. But that's Jersey for ya. Now we need to escape because the tweakers are coming for Eric. We run into a grumpy security guard in which we say to him,
"What's your problem, Bacon Bits? Wake up on the wrong side of your mother this morning?"
You'll be not shocked to hear I used this line on multiple people in middle school. This line is still a good burn. You know what doesn't hold up though? People referring to everything as ghetto.
Ghetto ride you got rolling though.
2 little skaters and their ghetto shop.
Definitely not something we do now, but hey, it could be worse, right?
You must learn some old skating techniques. We'll start with the no comply. Failure will bring disgrace to my name and restaurant.
Oh no, it got worse. Not great, but at least they don't have him talking about honor or something.
Accomplishing this will bring great honor to us.
Oh no. We leave Jersey for New York in order to film some spots to get that sponsorship. Another mission type I like is that you can find a pro skater who will teach you a new special move. The specials are high-scoring tricks that require 2 directional inputs to execute. But if you don't like the input, you can go into the settings to change them. Actually, you can change your entire skate moveset if you want to, which that's pretty cool. It allows you to see what other types of tricks there are. And speaking of moves, another new feature is the ability to create a trick. Choose the rotations, grabs, flips, length, etc. It's a fun idea that I never used. I feel like oftentimes it would tell me my move wasn't allowed, or if I did make a move, it scored less points than a normal McTwist. A McTwist is a special move, not a sundae you would get at McDonald's. Which may be confusing as McDonald's is in this game. Nothing more punk rock than product placement. Back to New York though. We capture some footage ending with performing tricks over a burning taxi cab. This is enough to get sponsored, and now we are off to Tampa, where we are instantly detained by a corrupt cop. Well, unfortunately that still holds up. We have to run some errands for the cops and Mayor Jed, who has an interesting way of speaking.
Remove all the stickers by wall riding. To wall ride, jump into the wall at an angle and hold grind.
Afterwards, Eric suggests I destroy Jed's election signs, and he steals a cop car and makes the police chase me until I ditch it into the water. You know, I'm starting to think this Eric might not be a great friend, but maybe it's in my head. Let's head to the Tampa Am competition, where it turns out Eric forgot to turn in my application sheet. Look, I can forgive arson and destruction of police and politician property, but messing with my skating career? Too far, Eric. I get to compete anyway because I impress some pros. The competition allows you 3 runs and you score your 2 highest. I absolutely decimate the competition with perfect scores. This allows me to join a new sponsor team, and I get to choose from real skate teams. This is a cool addition. You get to watch a few promo videos to make your decision, and choosing that team will unlock new customizations for your clothing and deck. I went with Zero because their video was loud and had the most punk vibes. I always loved the Tampa level. Not only are there some really cool spots, but the competition is the first steps into legitimacy in the story. There was always something else I remember loving about this level as a young boy, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, that's right. That's a nice looking gator. See? Told you I can't put my finger on it. Now we are off to San Diego to shoot some pictures and footage with the team. We meet Todd, our manager, who calls everything Skittles.
Skittles?
Skills! Skittles means skills. What are you, from Idaho?
This level is pretty simple plot-wise. Do the tricks and challenges your team asks for. Nothing too mind-blowing. Although there is one mission where you drive around in a flower cart trying to pick up girls for a party, and every girl is like, "Ew, no way." Unless you can show me a cool combo, maybe. I love this. It's so stupid and silly. I like picturing someone trying this in real life. Yes, I smell bad and have no game. But check this out. Kickflip! I can only assume you are overcome with passion now. After San Diego, we head to Hawaii for the mission, Get Laid. Get it? Sun, beaches, shops, and oh my god, where am I? Each level has a collectible of some sort. Most will have a VHS tape which unlocks fun videos, and some levels have secrets that can unlock levels from previous games in the series. I love this. It's a nice gift to fans to replay some of the great past levels with modern mechanics. Hawaii is probably the most memorable location besides Jersey. The reason being, the ending mission has you do a McTwist over a helicopter. Sick as hell. Although, even as a kid, I would often not land on the hotel across, and the game would go, close enough. Next, we are in Vancouver to show all the footage we got. I always liked this area too, really good street level. There's also a hockey puck you can knock around, and if you score, you'll see goal. No idea why they added this, but I'm glad they did. Most of the missions here are kind of the same plot-wise, help the team finish getting footage. Although there is one mission where you ride a leaf blower. And I didn't say it before, but the driving missions are all kind of dumb. It was jaw-dropping when I was 9, but now they are all relatively lame. I mean, the first driving mission is for a street gang, and now I'm doing somebody's chores. Skateboarding has this aura of anarchy, and yet here I am. Rock and roll! Finally, it's time for my big premiere. Eric has me grab some last-minute VIPs, not sure why a skater would be in charge of this. And when I get to the theater, I find out that not only am I not in the movie at all, but Eric edited himself into the Hawaii trick, which allows him to instantly go pro and launches him to superstardom. Next is the Slam City Jam competition. I enter as a pro and yet again decimate everyone. So badly, I skip the third run, because third runs are for people who don't get perfect scores. Smug. And finally, we're off to Moscow. We have another demo to do. Todd tells us to knock down a bunch of Russian guards with guns because the gate we need to get through is locked. I would have tried asking someone first, but this is also an option. It's all part of Todd's plan, Operation D's.
Operation D's what?
These nuts!
Sick 2000s burn. Oddly enough, I make up with Eric, which lasts all about 5 minutes, as Eric gets drunk, steals a tank, and when I try to stop him, I get stuck and arrested as Eric sells me out. I feel like now is a great time to talk about Eric. He sucks, and I love him. He's the best character in the game. He is set up as a great antagonist from the beginning. The first mission he has you collect his board parts for him since his knee is hurt, but then he starts skating fine as soon as you finish the mission. It may be small, but it does show he will always get someone else to do stuff for him while reaping all the benefits. You get the supplies back from the drug dealers, so he lights a car on fire out of his damaged ego. You look to be a rising star, so he doesn't turn in your application in hopes to get an easy win. In fact, all of these examples are pretty grounded, in that I can see how someone could either forgive them, overlook, or make mental gymnastics for. Getting me arrested by Moscow guards, well, luckily that is the last straw of our friendship. When we return from Moscow, Eric is embracing full-on douche. Not even trying to be two-faced anymore, as he lets us know he has money, cars, and a record deal. Oh, how did we get back from Moscow after being arrested, you ask? No biggie, just disrupted Russia's broadcast with spin moves, delivered unknown contraband to some sketchy guy, and then snuck past the guards while using night vision. You know, normal skater stuff. After our run-in with Eric back in Jersey, we meet with our first sponsor and rant how kids are looking up to Eric, and that's not what skating is really about. Ignoring the fact that we have now done multiple missions where our goal was to go pro, get a board design, and a shoe deal. Forget all that. The kids need to learn the spirit of Christmas, I mean skating. We get some pros to shoot some final hardcore challenges, which then leads to a final 1v1 against Eric. If I win, I get the original tape of me busting that trick in Hawaii. If he wins, he gets, well, nothing. So yeah, I'm going to take this deal. A quick follow Eric around the neighborhood later, and that's the story. And it's cool and climactic. And very, very easy. In fact, this whole game is extremely easy. At least, I think so. You see, I am very good at this game, like, legitimately good. For example, there are missions where you have to get a certain amount of points in front of someone who will move locations frequently. Each time I hit the goal on the first location with one combo. Simple. I'm sorry, Dimps, are you bragging about being good at a 20-year-old game that you've played multiple times? Yes, I am. You want to fight me? Go ahead, try. I'll have your friends saying,
Wait, kid, it's too dangerous!
But seriously, Moscow is one of the final levels, yet there is a mission where you have to get 50,000 points in 1 minute. Doesn't have to be a combo or specific requirements like do these tricks only or only in this location. That's not a lot of points. Look, 8 seconds and I knocked it out. And yes, I have lots of practice, but these missions I don't think are that tough for even inexperienced players. I even did all the goals. Which was actually cool because it does unlock cheats you can toggle, like perfect manuals and gravity mode. I ended up playing the whole game again, but on the hardest difficulty. Folks, meet Mr. Bones! The main changes in difficulty are that missions will ask for more points, maybe give less time for objectives, and even the stat upgrades are harder to obtain. But main missions are basically the same for the most part. The biggest difference? Mr. Bones don't take crap from Eric Sparrow. What else does this game have to offer? Honestly, a pretty good amount. Starting with unlockables, you get characters like Gene Simmons and Iron Man? I know that it sounds like I picked 2 names randomly out of a hat, but it's true. You even get a Kiss-themed level where the band will play a live concert. There is also multiplayer where you have quite a few modes to choose from. I remember my friends and I would stick strictly to either graffiti or horse. And you can also create your own parks, or even create your own goals and pre-existing levels. Though I weirdly don't remember this at all, which is a shame because it's pretty in-depth. You can even name an NPC and give them dialogue. And finally, it would be a crime not to mention the soundtrack. These games have always had some serious bangers that have been in my playlists for years. Let me play you a few snippets of my favorites.
Wait, kid, it's too dangerous.
Okay, fine, just look them up. There are lots of killer punk and rap songs in this game. But the real question, where does it land on my nostalgia rankings? I think this is a clear, you nailed it, young dimps. Underground still has a lot going for it. It controls incredibly well, many of the levels are memorable, and although the story is kind of basic, I'm glad they did it. And I think that Eric is one of the best unconventional antagonists in gaming. Shout out to Benjamin Diskin for his fantastic, face-punch-worthy performance. I think what keeps this out of Nostalgia Beater is that I really can't point to many individual missions that are major highlights. And even on sick difficulty, the game is pretty breezy. But what I love, besides it being a 2000s time capsule, is that I found myself simply skating around looking for undiscovered gaps, trying to see how high of a score or combo I could get, all while blasting one of the best soundtracks in the series. It will still go down as a perfect, chill-out game, and it is the absolute bomb.com. Damn it, I thought I was done with 2000s lingo. Hey, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about this game or what you think I should talk about next. Happy gaming.